What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? So my husband do say, Sanet, don't quit your day job. But for me, my voice is beautiful. But my question is, what is love got to do with it? So yesterday was Valentine's Day. How did you enjoy your Valentine's Day? Did you even think about your Valentine for you? Thinking how much you need to appreciate your heart, your beautifulness. Did you? Hello, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen. Also, hello to all the Diamond Beauties and the Tanzanite heroes. I did get a message to say that there is something wrong with Facebook and I did not pick up the three groups, well, the two groups and my Facebook page. So I apologize if it's not, the link is not live at the moment, but I am going to bring in my two beautiful guests and then I am going to quickly take me off the screen and just let them introduce themselves and tell us how did I feel to be with each other, and then I will see if I can quickly correct the link on my side. So something on Facebook side. Um, so let me start. Are you ready to have an amazing show? On Sunday, I had beautiful Jeff and beautiful Donna to come and tell us about their story, their love story. I've got a beautiful couple today. Well, they're in Canada, but I cannot remember where they say they are now, so they will just let me know some exotic place that they are now. But so they will tell us. And for me, a beautiful Glenn and beautiful Paula is like an amazing couple. And I don't know if Glenn realized, but he came to my show last year, exactly last year, on episode 13. And today again it's episode 13. And Paula came the next week to come and inspire us. So this show's name is called Internal Embrace. And that is exactly what I was thinking when I was thinking of beautiful Glenn and Paula. I also have written a beautiful cover story for both of them for our amazing Diamond Moment magazine. And their story, their photos was just incredible. So I want to take 3 deep breaths and then we're going to play beautiful Jose Escobar's video because he is the sponsor for today's show. And then I am going to bring in my beautiful guest. Are you ready? Oh, wow. Let us go. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Another one in. Exhale. Last one in. Exhale. I almost forget to say exhale. So I just wanted to ask my beautiful Diamond Beauties or Tanzanite hero, if you do see this on the platform going live, please let me know. Then I don't have to worry. So please let me know. I will appreciate it. Here is beautiful Jose's video.
Is Jose Escobar. I live in Washington, D.C. area. I'm a family man. I'm an entrepreneur, coach, author, and speaker. I have communities. I support people. I'm a servant leader, and the list goes on. And I'm primarily the CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. That's my bread and butter. That's my core offer, right? That's where I put most of my time and energy. And the Connected Leaders Academy is a growing community. It's a tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. We're now over 350 plus members, 42 states across the US, and 17 international countries. If you're an entrepreneur out there that's looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more money, more clients, right? This is the community for you.
Wow, amazing. And here are my beautiful guests. Hello, my beautiful guests. Hello, beautiful Paula. Hello, beautiful Glenn. I am over the moon to have you. And I can tell you why I'm over the moon. I left my canvas. Can you see over the moon? I left
Absolutely.
it here today because normally when I go live on my power hour, I have my butterfly. But today for Soul of a Diamond, this is my canvas for Soul of a Diamond when one lady come and tells her story. And I left it especially for you today because the full moon is so romantic. And I know that you are in a beautiful place. But Glenn, when I had to say where you are, I thought, oh, I think it starts with a P, but now I cannot remember what it is. So first of all, I would love you to introduce yourself, or Paula, if I can start with you, and then Glenn, and then please tell us where are you at currently because I could not remember. Thank you.
So I'm Paula, and we are currently in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, enjoying 20 days of some rest and relaxation after a very busy and exciting 2023. And so we're just taking a little time for ourselves to enjoy and relax and regenerate and build up some energy to propel us into 2024.
Wow, that's amazing. So I knew it started with a P, but that's it. I could not remember the rest. Thank you, my beautiful Paula. And you, my beautiful Glenn.
Yeah, my name is Glenn, and this is my beautiful wife. Obviously, we were freshly married a couple years back. Um, I'm the owner of a couple of construction companies, and I went public a couple of years ago and telling my story. And I want to thank you for having us on, first of all. And I want to thank my wife, Paula. Paula's not one for public speaking. She's an excellent speaker, but she's not one for doing this. I want to thank her for coming on because she's a huge, huge part of my happiness and, completes me. And it's a great story to tell, and I love telling it. So I'm glad she's here to do it with me.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. I wanted to share, I'm going to share a little bit later the front cover of our Diamond Moment magazine, but we will get to that almost at the end. So, may I just ask, and any of you can answer, where did you first meet the first time?
Paula's the best at this story.
So we actually met online. So I had been on the online dating platform for a couple of years and I was extremely frustrated and I thought, I'm done, so I took myself off the platform and took a break for about 6 months. But at the end of 6 months, I was just super frustrated that, that the world was moving forward with love and I was not finding the love. So I thought I'm going to give it one more shot. And sure enough, I went online and in less than a week, I meet Glenn, or I see his profile on the internet, on the dating site. And I thought, well, you know what, let me give it a shot. When I read his profile, I, immediately connected to it. But, looking at his photographs, I wasn't so sure that we would be a match simply because he's an athlete and I'm anything but an athlete. And so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what comes of it. And lo and behold, on our first meeting, it was fireworks. I met Glenn. We met for a glass of wine, and that 1 hour meet and greet turned into a 4 hour conversation. And then 2 days later, we went for a walk for another 4 hour conversation. And at that point, I was like, this is the guy for me.
Wow, amazing. And my beautiful Glenn, when you first set your eyes on Paula,
Oh,
what
my
did
God.
you think?
It's funny because, for me, part of being a gentleman is you always arrive first. And Paula had a bit of a delay that night with some business she was taking care of. So I waited in my car and she actually got in before me. And I walked in behind her and I kind of peeked around the corner of her like this over her shoulder. And she kind of turned and she went, Glenn, and I went, Paula. And, it just took off from there. It was just an amazing night. Like both of us couldn't get our smile off our faces. And even when we left that night, we were driving down the road and I pulled up beside her and I looked over and she was looking at me and I put my window down. I said, I can't stop smiling. And she goes, neither can I. And, it's It's been amazing. It's an amazing journey. Like the whole love story and everything about it is just truly incredible.
So it really was love at first sight.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So, my beautiful ones, I must just tell you because we did give Glenn a questionnaire and he was supposed to get photographs, but I do understand there was other things that took higher priority than that. But since my heart is like this big, I spent about 2 hours on Glenn's Facebook searching for photos and searching for how inspiration between the two of you to do the article. But I must just say, your wedding photos was for me beautiful, and I have chosen the one that is the big one. That the inside the bigger one. I have made sure to make that one the biggest one, because for me, when just looking at that was like amazing. So I just quickly want to say something. The reason why I have asked beautiful Glenn to come to the show in February last year. I asked him, please, can you come to the TV show with three other ladies? Because I saw your photograph dancing with your women. That's what I said to you, dancing with your women, but the way that you looked at her, and I remember it 4 months ago when I saw it the first time. When I asked God, who will be the right gentleman to spice up our session? And the first image that came to mind was that beautiful photograph. I also made sure that dancing photograph is also in the magazine because I remember that. And that's how we and Glenn got to start to talk, and then he came solo to episode 13, and then Paula, you bestowed the honor on me to come the following week. But that photo, can you imagine that somebody see that love for each other in a photo? 4 months down the line, she remembered it. Is that even possible? Because you show it out of your whole body. It's like amazing, amazing. And I must just say, Paula, the Diamond Beauties love Paul Glenn from the beginning, and I think when he talked about how you can tell your husband you also want some chivalry, and you also wants to be, and also the five love languages. They even love Glenn more. So my beautiful Glenn, I know that the five love languages is a very big thing for you in your life. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Well, it's funny because I didn't know about the 5 love languages years ago. And through Paula, I got to know a lot more about it. She's very polished in the actual book and has read it thoroughly. But when you get into the 5 love languages, we actually had a conversation last night during Valentine's. And the conversation didn't go so well, but it was more my chivalry is kind of wedged into the 5 languages. So it's not necessarily how the book writes it, but my chivalry is like my services I do, like my gentleman part of it. It's who I am. Like the things I do through my chivalry, I'm not looking in return from Paula, because sometimes you project what those 5 love languages are. But my services to her it means a lot to me to be a gentleman and how to treat her. And I try to do it every day in everything we do. So it doesn't really suit the services part of it, but it is part of who I am, the essence of who I am. But one of my biggest things for sure is time. I want time. I want my time with Paula. I want her time. It's huge to me. Words are big for me. Definitely touch. And as far as service and gifts, they're way down the line. Like I don't need service from her, and I don't need gifts, but those other things are crucial to me. So I give that a lot to her for sure. For sure. They mean a lot.
Amazing. And you, my beautiful Paula?
When Glenn and I first met, we did perhaps not speak of the 5 love languages in terms of the structure of it, but naturally the conversation led from one into another. And at that time, it was very, very clear that that is something that I absolutely needed, was someone who was willing to give me their time, and not only their time, but their physical self, in the sense of, just gentle caresses and just, physical connection constantly, like whether we're holding hands or, just being close to each other, was something that was very important to me. And I have to say that those were things that perhaps my soul was seeking when we first met. But I can tell you that at this point in time, I am saturated with all of the love languages, because Glenn doesn't cease to constantly provide every aspect of the love languages. And which is my top and which is my bottom, it doesn't really exist anymore, because he is constantly providing me with absolutely anything and everything that I need without me asking for it. He intuitively knows what I am lacking that day, and he constantly provides it. And so, at the end of the day, I can't help but be happy and, share right back with him.
The one thing I want to add, like, if I'd have known back then about the 5 love languages, I would have started the date with that. Like, to me, that should be a first date topic, because so many people, including myself, didn't know about it, still don't know about it. And what a great way to start a conversation about your 5 love languages, and finding out what the person loves, what they're looking for, what they require the most. Because there's always topics that, professionals will say don't talk about on your first date. One of Paula's first comments within 20 minutes was, "Would you marry again?" And most people would tell you, don't do that. But
on a first date?
On a first date.
Will you marry again?
Right.
I mean, they're going to think you're crazy.
Yeah. But, it is important. Whether you've been married before or you haven't been married before. Would you get married? Would you have kids? I threw that one out, but that was more of a joke. But, it's crucial to understand the languages. And we still revisit it every 2 or 3 months, just to see if something's missing, or something has flipped from 2 to 3, or your number 2 has become number 1. So it's crucial to maintain it all the time. And like she says, I intentionally pay attention intuitively to what she's kind of giving me a vibe of, and I pick up on it pretty quick with her.
So, Glenn, I know that you are extremely busy, but please, in the Tanzanite Heroes, because you're also part of my amazing Tanzanite Heroes, please will you go there and tell the gentleman the chivalry part and the 5 love language, because I think that will be amazing.
Yeah, the chivalry thing, it's sad to see how many guys have lost it. I've been a romantic my whole life, and people can say you're like this because we just got married a couple of years ago. I was, I'm between us, we have over 60 years in marriage. It's something I'm passionate about and I want to maintain. And I could have easily lost that, through a divorce or whatever. But I love treating Paula like she's the most important person in the world. Like, whether you're opening doors or pulling out her chair, pushing her chair in, grabbing her coat, helping with her coat. We've been on patios down here, and she'll get a chill, and I help her put her coat on. There's just so many things that you'd have to actually make a list, because everything I can think of, I do all the time. To me, this is the biggest commitment I'll ever make in my life, is to be married. And I work harder at my marriage than I do at my job and owning my companies. This means more to me than that. Without this, my businesses mean nothing. So she's the most important thing in the morning when she gets up. I'll get up and I meet her and I give her a hug, and I hold her like it might be the last time I hug her. And when I come home from work, it's the best thing for me to see her and give her a hug again. Those 2 things are the most crucial parts of my day. And I literally squeeze her every morning. There's not one day I don't. And we go, wow. If I have to leave the house early, it's not the same to my day. Hasn't started the right way, how I feel. But there's everything I can possibly do to help her, to make her day better, easier. My commitment every day is to make sure she understands how much she means to me and how much I love her. And I try, I'm not perfect, but I try really hard to make sure I achieve that.
Wow, beautiful. So, Glenn, I don't know if my sound is better now on your side. Is
It's
it
not too bad.
better?
Not too bad.
Okay, I have put the mic here.
Yeah.
So I do know that you said the sound there is a little bit softer, so I hope it's going to be. And I'm talking a little bit louder as well.
That's good.
So
We're
my
good.
Thank you, my beautiful Paula. I am sure your friends, your girlfriends have told you you are one of the luckiest women you know. They know maybe that I must just talk right. You do get the flowers, and you know your door has been open. Glenn opens your door. Do you get comments like that?
All the time, all the time, because whenever we're in public, we're with friends, everyone witnesses, what an absolute gentleman my lovely husband here is. He's always one step ahead of me in anything that I may need or want or am doing, and if he can facilitate it in any way, he's right there and he's facilitating. And I'm not, I don't feel any kind of negative feelings towards him stepping up for me. Like, I embrace it. I really do enjoy all of the things that he does for me. And my circle of friends, they say to me all the time, you've changed over the last few years that you've been with Glenn. Like, you've never been so happy. You're always smiling, there's always laughter. There's a weight off of my shoulders. And so, life is just much lighter just having him side by side with me. And at the end of the day, being that one step ahead of my thoughts. And I don't even have to think it, and he's already acting on it. So it's kind of crazy, but I love it. I do love that he treats me like the only person in his life.
If I could add something, like when I met Paula, she's a very independent and powerful woman. Like, that's one thing I have no interest in ever taking that from her. When I was opening doors for her at the beginning, she goes, I'm not useless. I can get my own door. And it took me probably a year of trying to get her to let me do it. It's something I need. Like, I enjoy doing that. And she needed to find a way to allow me to apply my chivalry, because she was taking something away from me that's really passionate to me. So I had to work for a year to get her to let me do it. And now she lets me. Like, she'll actually stand at a doorway.
I wasn't used to it, so it took some getting used to, and now I won't even attempt to open a door. It's like,
I
this
must,
is your job.
yeah, exactly. I must just tell you, Paula, I have, after Glenn's session with us, I thought I'm going to do this thing. I'm not going to get in the car and wait for my husband. Just got in the car. I said to him, can you come and open the door? No, you've got your own hands to open your door. And I thought, okay, now how am I going to get this man of mine of so many years of marriage to open the door for me? So once or twice he did it for me, but because of all the years of not doing it, it's just, and me also not demanding it. Maybe that was the thing, that because Glenn gave us permission to say we want chivalry. But for me, it's such an amazing to see. I've got a niece that still, they are married for 50 years. 50 years. He still open, Dawn still opens the door for Sunny. It is, he does such a, but in return, she does so much for him as well. So I know a lot of women will ask, or men will ask, but if Glenn is doing all this, are you also serving him? And I can just know it's a two-way, because he makes you happy, and then you will make him happy.
It's funny, like, because between the two of us, I'm the romantic and Paula's not. And a lot of people, when they meet us, they think she is, but it's actually the opposite. But when Paula talks about dance and compares it to a relationship, it's actually a very romantic way she puts it. Because in her kind of, I'm not taking words from her, but if you look at, you're picking a dance partner for the rest of your life, the way she looks at dance, she'll dance with lots of men because she's been dancing for like 26, 27 years. But the dance of life with somebody that you're picking for hopefully eternity, it takes a lot to be in sync to dance every day, if you know what I mean. So I give the chivalry part, which is the romance part for me. She gives her version of, you're my dance partner for the rest of my life. So that's my job, to find that romance in her, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
At the end of the
I love
day, life, the approach is the two of us become one with the music. And so we're synchronized and we are embellishing each other. There are moments where he embellishes me and there are moments where I'm embellishing him. But at the end of the day, we have become one with the music. And so, we move forward in harmony. And, what better way to move through life but in harmony with the person that you love.
Like if you look at, like I always say, it's a commitment every day. Like I said, we've got a lot of years of marriage between us, but if you put that work in every day, your marriage gets better every day. Like, what have I done to make our marriage better today, tomorrow, the next day? And there's always the days where you don't achieve what you want to. But like guys will go out and play golf and they'll show up early and they'll practice hitting balls and they'll go out and putt. Have you given that same amount of time to enhance your marriage, to enhance your relationship? So if I do those kind of things, I make sure I apply the same effort to enhance my relationship, to make her feel more important, to make her, just to make her life more enjoyable with me. And there's days like I've had times where I've upset her and I've left for work and I've turned around and drove back home because it's unacceptable to me. She means too much to me not to listen better and understand each other where we disagreed or where we didn't see eye to eye. Because she's the most important thing in my life, other than our kids, obviously. But
and of course, just like in dance, he steps on my toes, and it's like, ouch. But you get back in sync, and vice versa. He may lead something, and I miss the cue. And so it doesn't mean it was wrong. It just means I missed the cue. And it's like, let's try that again. And so you try again. And, lo and behold, if you're applying yourself, you're going to get back in sync and you're going to be in harmony.
Like when she says that, like in dance, I'm supposed to lead, but sometimes she'll back lead me.
Oh, yeah, that's called hijacking the move. Every now and again, I will hijack the situation. Yeah. And so, even in our relationship, every now and again, I will hijack it. And we're not doing it that way. We're doing it my way.
But it's
I
true.
love it.
There's a great comparison to that, and it's a give and take for sure.
Wow. So, Paul, I know that photograph of your dancing together was the one that have caught my eye. What is your favorite dance? Of all the dances, what is your favorite dance to dance with Glenn?
Well, at the moment, my favorite dance to dance with Glenn is salsa. In really short order, he has been amazing at learning the dance and developing his skill set and leading it. So we have a lot of fun doing salsa. It's upbeat. There's lots of play, and so we have a lot of fun doing salsa. With respect to my favorite dance is in fact Argentine tango. And again, it's because it's two becoming one with the music. And that applies across all dance, but there's just something about the Argentine tango that really fills my soul. And we are working on learning Argentine tango, and it's a little bit of a different animal, but at the end of the day, once you get the essence of it, it really is an amazing dance.
May I ask you something? Will it be okay to ask next year on Valentine if you can come and Glenn can come a demonstration for us? Will that give you enough time to practice?
Absolutely. Yeah. We can certainly do that. And the one thing that we're not necessarily going to do is choreograph something. Like, we want to just turn on some music. You select the music in the moment and away we go. We just play with the music. At the end of the day, you can't script life. So let's not
Yes.
script it. It's one thing to be performing. Anyone can perform, but at the end of the day, life is not just a performance. You may have to perform in certain aspects, but overall, you are just rolling with it. And so turn the music on and away we go. And what we create, we create. And if it's great, awesome. And if it's not great, it's still awesome.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what's funny? Like, go ahead,
Yes.
Jeanette. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say I will make sure it's copy-free tango music because I cannot play anything else. So it will not be that high quality tango music, but I'm gonna try. And then yes, on around about Valentine's next year, then come and please. And I hope by next year Valentine, I am gonna be South African's Oprah in Hollywood. I want to have I'm not going to be Oprah. I just quickly want to say, not, I'm going to be Sanet, but I'm going to have a proper TV show and I'm going to host with my beautiful Diamond Beauties as guests and my Tanzanite heroes as guests. I want real people with real stories to come and inspire us. We are all tired of this phony, this happy, and then, real stories. So maybe I'm going to say, maybe it will be there next year in Hollywood. I will fly you up and I will say, come and dance with me. That is my biggest dream to have, except for going to fetch the grandchildren every day at school. They are in New Zealand and I am in South Africa. My grandson Xander said, Omi, if you like Oprah in Hollywood, but so he doesn't know Oprah was not in Hollywood. Oprah was in Chicago, but it doesn't matter. He said, Omi, when you're Oprah in Hollywood, I will come and stay with you. So I just sidetrack now. Yes, my beautiful Glenn.
Well, I was going to say, like with dance, like Paula knows dance very thorough. She's an excellent, high quality dancer, and myself, like, I'm learning, but I'll mix accidentally salsa, rumba, bachata into one song, and it works as long as you keep the beat. And even both of us, we both have body parts that don't work well right now. Like she's got knees that aren't great, and I have parts actually screwed together that she used to dance for hours. We might dance only for an hour now. We're in pain, but we'll still do it. We might not be able to walk after we're done, and people wonder why we do it. But you shouldn't stop. Try to dance as much as you can, right? So
Wow.
it's a lot of fun. It's a journey, and you make the best of it for sure.
Wow, amazing. So, my beautiful Glenn, what is your favorite story to tell about Paula? And then, Paula, when Glenn is finished, can you tell us your favorite story about Glenn?
Oh boy.
Wow. Favorite story. I don't think I have one. I don't have a favorite story. The journey has been incredible. Like every day, my most melting moments is when she does want to open up and tell me exactly how she feels, say her appreciation of who I am. And when she doesn't do it very often, but when she does it, I don't have much to say. It just it humbles me. Whereas I talk too much, and if we have friends watching this, they'll vouch for it. Paula doesn't. She's a talker, but not like me. But man, when she tells me certain things about how she feels about me, like I'm pretty humbled, and she can keep me quiet for a while when she does that. But I love her with me on my arm. I love everything about her. She does things with me that she wouldn't normally do. We ride a tandem bike together. I did road races. And I'm riding tandem with Paula, and I'd rather ride tandem with her than do my road races. So she's taken up golf now. She's going to try golfing with me. So, just her zest for life, her attitude for life, the cup is half full. She just does that every day. And even if I get on a bit of a negative turn, she'll bring me out of it. It'll be like, that's enough. And I guess that might be one of the best things to say, because she'll keep me here. She keeps me at least half full all the time. She doesn't let me get below half a glass in life. So yeah, that's probably the best story I can tell you about her for sure. And she's like that
Wow.
every day. Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. And you, my beautiful Paula?
Oh, I have a great story. So one of the first trips Glenn and I took was to Europe, and we started in Barcelona in Spain, and then we flew to Rome, and from Rome we went to the Amalfi Coast. And while we were flying to Rome from Spain, I said to Glenn, "Well, how are we getting to the Amalfi Coast once we land in Rome?" And he said, "Oh, we'll just cab it." And I'm like, I thought he was joking, right? We'll just take a cab to the Amalfi Coast. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever, right? So we land in Rome and we go through customs, et cetera, et cetera. And when we step out, I said, okay, so how are we going to the Amalfi Coast? And he said, well, we'll just grab a cab. And I said, do you have any concept where the Amalfi Coast is? And he had no concept where the Amalfi Coast was. Now, to boot, we flew into Rome on the 15th of August, and the 15th of August is Ferragosto. So Italy is shut down. It's the biggest holiday in Europe for them, right? So in Italy. So we went, he thought, well, let's rent a car. So we go to the car rental. And of course, there are no cars available. Like everyone has left the city. Everyone is on vacation. And I'm thinking, okay, what are we going to do? So we go to the tour operator or the tourist information desk. And they said, well, you can take a bus from here to here and then take the train from here to here. And then from the train, you can take, and on it went. And that's not going to work.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
So we're going to use the bathrooms. And as we're walking, a gentleman, we pass a group of gentlemen who were chatting. And as we walk by, he said, can we help you with something? And, we just mentioned, well, we need to get to the Amalfi Coast. And he says, well, I'm a limo driver. Right? So we really didn't have an option. That was our only option. Or Glenn said, at this point, let's just take a limousine. So he hired the limousine driver to drive us to the Amalfi Coast. It was the best 4 hours in a truck or in a vehicle that we could have. Like we had a wonderful time because we just relaxed and saw the scenery as we were driving, and we had a lovely conversation with the driver, and it was perfect. So, by accident, but it was perfect. And so there we go. So even this gentleman who thinks of everything, thought he had it, and
I have an amazing travel agent. We left that little bit of detail out of there, but it was funny because when we got to where we were going, we kept ending up down in the marina where the shipyard was, not where the cruise ships come in, but the shipyards. And we went down there twice or 2 or 3 times. And Paula said, tell me it's not down here. And I went, it's not down here, but we finally found our place, and it was right on the edge of the cliff. It was absolutely stunning. And it was a fantastic trip. We won't tell you what the limo ride was worth, but
it was more expensive than the airplane ride. But it was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So, Glenn, do you know what is Paula's favorite color?
Color?
Yeah, color.
On me, blue.
On you, blue. Okay.
On
But
me, blue.
okay. Yeah.
I'd say blue. She loves robin's egg for sure, but blue.
That was one of the questions somebody said I must ask. Okay. Paula, I know you know what is Glenn's favorite color.
Well, I know which color he does not like. He does not like black. I can never get him to wear anything black. But his favorite colors, so his favorite color overall, I would say is probably blue. But I would say his favorite color on me would be bright. So a bright color. I think he likes the reds on me.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love color. I love it. She looks great in
I
color.
love it.
She walks up to a black rock, and I'll just push her away. Get out of there.
So I totally agree. When I was overweight, they say when you wear black, you look slimmer. But I think they made a big mistake, because now you look even more like a whale. If I can quickly show you. So I used to wear a lot of black. Oh, can you? I don't know if you can see. Wear a lot of black,
What
and
a
I
journey
could.
for you.
Yes, thank you, my beautiful Glenn. And for me, I could only, here in South Africa, for my size of clothing, I could only buy at one shop. It was Donna Clear, but it changed to Donna. So that was only one shop in South Africa, and they had a chain everywhere, but it was only one shop. So for me, just buying different colors, and today I've got this beautiful dress on with
There you go.
roses. I never had flowers or anything, because if you put prints in, it looks more bigger. But now when I pass beautiful Donna shop, I look at the naming convention on top, and I will say, thank you, Donna, for serving here in my head, so that nobody hears me. But I will say, thank you, Donna, for serving me for 54 years. Well, not as a child, but for most of my adult life. But now I can go and buy any clothes. And yes, my beautiful Glenn and Paula, I agree. The more brighter, yellow, orange. And I love to wear white, because white was a no-no. I love to wear white. So yes, I do agree. I am also trying to stay a little bit away from black, because I used to wear black all the time. So
But
my beauty,
you look what you've achieved. Wear the color. Like you look amazing, right? Show
yes,
it
yes.
off.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so Thank you so much, my beautiful Glenn. So, Paula, what interesting, you have told us your favorite story, but what interesting story can you tell us about Glenn?
Interesting story about Glenn.
Mhm.
Interesting story. Well, Glenn's entire life is very interesting. So, the amount of things that he has experienced, I mean, I think that was one of the very first things that just captivated me about Glenn, was that um, when I say a colorful life, there's just been so much that has happened in his life, both trauma and good things. And when you take the time to sit down and talk to him about his past, there is so much there, and he deserves to be writing a book, simply because there is just so much to tell, and there's a lot that has happened in his life. Both good and bad, but that's what makes Glenn who he is. That is what has, nurtured him, and what has developed and molded him to be the person and the man that he is. And at the end of the day, why would we take any of those things of the past away? Because at the end of the day, those are the things that are responsible for having created this
Yes,
incredible being. So I am
yes.
grateful for all of his interesting life stories, because they have created a spectacular, incredible man.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, my beautiful Paula. So when in August last year I had my 2-year anniversary for the for the Diamond Beauties, and I asked Glenn if he wants to gift somebody a present, because I wanted to have live Zoom sessions and then give each lady something. And Glenn, your books, the one lady that you sent to South Africa, she received a book 2 weeks ago. Can you believe it?
Wow.
2 weeks
That took some
ago.
time.
But she got it because, I don't want to talk about South Africa and the post and the hijacking of the vehicles of for the delivery persons. But it's now time for me to reveal your magazine. So I'm not sure if we're going to shift to the side. So let me see what's going to happen. So just give me 1 second. Yes, we did shift to the side. So, my beautiful Paula, what did you think about the cover of the magazine?
Well, Glenn only shared it with me a few days ago. I didn't actually see it for a while, so he kept it to himself. And so, that was just this this Christmas season that just passed, we were at a gala event. It was a fundraiser. And so we had a fabulous time that evening. And that photograph was just taken by a passerby for us. And I love it.
And I said to Glenn, go and do a photo shoot of the two of you. But then he sent me this photograph. We had to take a few things off, and that tiles there at the back that is like a stripe. We had to cover some of it, but we made a beautiful cover. And we only complete the magazine on Sunday because this weekend my husband and myself had to go and make sure, make everything smaller, bite-wise for the magazine. Otherwise, we could not send it out. So, my beautiful Glenn, how do you feel when you saw your first cover? The two of you were our first investment cover for the Diamond Moment magazine, and we are in 42 countries. How did you feel, my beautiful Glenn?
I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be on her arm. When I look at her, and she's absolutely stunning inside and out. And I got to compliment you, Sanet. You did an amazing job, because my last couple of months have been a little out of control. As you know, I've told you about that, but it's stunning. She's beautiful. I tell her every day how lucky I am. And I literally do, because I feel that way every day. I always say treat your partner like someone's trying to steal them 24 hours a day, because there is. There'd be a line of guys that would love to have Paula. So I'm thrilled to have her, and she's stunning. She's beautiful.
Oh, wow, I love it. So Diamond Moments, you definitely have given us Diamond Moments. And I just wanted to say thank you to my editor-in-chief, Sunay Swanepoel, for helping me to create this amazing magazine. So I'm going to stop sharing. So my beautiful Paula, what is your golden nugget? What is the thing that you love to say to others? It can be your own wording, or it can be somebody else's quote that you love to use.
My golden nugget. With respect to relationships, marriage, my golden nugget would be to make sure that you are in love with the person that you want to spend your life with, and not in love with the idea of having a partner. So you need to not just be in love with the idea, but actually be in love with that person, and not try and make that person fit the mold of your fairy tale. Because in the end, if you try and make that person fit in that mold, you're going to have challenges. So ensure that you are in love with the person and not with the idea of being in love.
Wow, I love it. That is beautiful. Thank you, my beautiful Paula. And you, my beautiful Glenn?
I can't say ditto, right?
No, you can't do that.
For me, like it's one of my old sayings. I think, like the poem called "The Dash" that Linda Ellis wrote. I live my dash. It's not the date you're born or the date you die. It's the dash in between, and I live it to the fullest. So, like, if I look at our marriage, am I the best husband I can be? Am I the best, boss I can be? The best, father, grandfather? I exhaust everything to the fullest and try to fulfill that every day. And there's a fine line on the balance of it. It takes a lot of work, but what you get back is twofold. So everything I put out or project, I usually get back. Like I know I'm adding a little bit too much, but my core values, I project my core values, and I usually get them back. So I live my dash to the fullest. I want my dash to be the best dash. When I look back as I get older, I want to be proud of my dash and that I had fun and I have no regrets.
Wow, I love it. I know we've got actually 1 minute left before I'm going to ask you to have a dance with me. Do you have your wallet with you with your values inside the wallet?
I actually just gave it away to a gentleman about 2 weeks ago. I didn't grab one of my other cards. So, like, the story behind that, if you want me to tell it, I keep my core values on a card, and I keep in my left pocket, I keep all my credit cards, and my core value card's a little bit bigger. So when I put my hand in my pocket, I can feel it. And there's a good friend of mine back home who's had a tough time over the last year and hit a bad spot in his life recently. And I gave him my value card that he could use it for, like, to help him figure out what his values are. Because your core values are what makes you tick as a person. I'm not entitled to Paula's, and she's not entitled to mine, and I'm not entitled to yours. And if we live by our core values every day will be a pretty good day. So
I love it. Thank you. My beautiful Paula and Glenn, thank you for bestowing us your beautiful presence and your love that we can see through this beautiful screen. I'm so happy for all the technology. And I wanted to ask you, will you have a dance with me?
she's going to do some wiggling. Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. My beautiful ladies and gentlemen, will you have a dance with us? Paula and Glenn, they said yes. They said yes. Here we go. Woo, woo.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles, oh, there's magic in that light. Sprinkle me with fairy dust, watch me take to the sky. Singing, dancing,
Bye bye,
soaring high
everyone.
above.